Alright, so in order to create a then and day flourish, you'll have to do the following. First, you're gonna pick an already existing concept and work from there. Just go find some old books like Encyclopedia of Card Flourishes, Erdnase, or some old DVDs from Brian Tudor. Pretty much anything will do, just pick something and you're good to go. You can find some examples for this in the system, where they took, for example, Brian Tudor's Revolution cut and Bad Habit and crafted Madonna, or Revolution Erdnase with the Erdnase script. Genesis also, which is basically Chris Kenner's original Sybil but with a different ending. And also in the trilogy, Akira, which is basically Ashford Knightle's Tornado cut merged with a Sybil. Just find a concept and play around with it. In my case, I'll just pick, let's say, Tornado cut, and something from Brian Tudor. Yeah, let's just use the Revolution 3. Yeah, like that, and now I'll just kind of merge those two together and yeah, we'll have a start. So after you're familiar with an existing concept or multiple ones, it's time to introduce an original concept, where you either take your borrowed one to the next step or just do something completely new, like where they started peeling off cards from the Tornado cut in Pandora, or the closer of Mecca, for example. Something like that. You get the idea. Just do something creative basically. The close especially should be very extraordinary, like that display thing from Tectonic Verb. In my case, I played a bit around until I found this weird closer and I stick to it. I also incorporated the tornado to bad habit movement in case you haven't noticed. And note, do not create an actual flourish, but rather a kind of concept itself, where you introduce the concept but don't fully expand on it. Like you find a new grip for a fan, but don't actually play around with it, just stick to one version and let people do other things with it. If you feel up to it, you can also chain those concepts together to get something like Pandora or Jackson 5. But these are more like exceptions. So for mine, I mean I could try different things with that closer, but this version works, I guess, so let's keep it that way. Occasionally though, you can come up with an entirely new thing, like the molecule grip. If that's the case, then be sure to make at least 7 variations of it. Now, after you're done with all that and created a neat little cut, it's time to name your creation. You have a few options there. Either you give it a way too long and out of place name and take the acronym of that, resulting in things like TCTCSA, or you pick a cool personal name like Madonna, Carnahan, Mary Jane or Akira, and also make sure it sounds really cool. Use sciencey words like molecule or tectonic, or something from a movie like Kryptonite. But if you don't care at all about the name, just take a few numbers and you're good to go. In my case, I'm just gonna call it let's call it Yoko Ono, just yeah. Oh, and before I forget it, if someone asks you to teach them your flourish, just do it a few times in varying tempos without saying a single word. They should figure out the most important things by themselves. Alright, that about wraps it up.